Okay, we are going to move on to tight ends now. Right now we got 5 booms, 5 bust tight ends for you. Starting off is our boy Cam. Who do you got for a boom?
I'm going to say Kittle. And I know this is like, what a surprise, shocker. Kittle's going to be good. But, like, I've seen people taking Waller over Kittle. I think that that's crazy. I like Waller, too. Obviously, that's a big tier break after those 3 guys. But Kittle had his, like tight end academy? Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
And I think that he learned some things from Kelsey and Waller, and I think he's gonna take a step. I know he's already really good, but I think he's gonna take a step. I think he's gonna stay healthy, and I think if you get him, you're gonna get great value. So
I agree.
So you're saying Kittle over Kelsey this year?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think it's gonna be closer than people think.
I mean, I think when Kittle had that monster year, 2 years ago, I don't think it was too far off of Kelsey.
No, they're 1 and 2. I mean, it's a unanimous. Hey, that's the number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like those guys are in a league of their own.
I've seen people taking Waller over Kittle.
But I don't think that is
always,
super ridiculous. Just because the Raiders have nobody, they have no receivers, man. Like. They don't. I mean, they got
They're also
Henry.
just not going to be very good, though.
Well,
but I mean, like, I think I would also take Kittle over Waller. But I think the argument for Waller over Kittle, I think, would just solely be the fact that
more weapons in San Fran.
Yeah, there's more weapons in San Fran. But I'm okay with Kittle as a boom, just strictly because, like you said, I think he does have another step, right? So it's like, I'm okay with that. And, tight end is a fickle, weird position. So, there's only so many.
Well, good thing about Kittle, too, is he's kind of like a tight end / wide receiver. He's one of those ones that lines up, and you're almost getting a tight end at wide receiver value, or you're getting wide receiver at tight end value.
That's exactly what you're getting.
So that's always a good thing to look at when you're looking at tight ends, who plays a lot of snaps outside into the slot or something like that. Yep. Give yourself a better chance of picking up some points.
Right.
All right, who do you got over there for your boomer?
I'm going to go with Noah Fance, okay? And I think Noah Fance, he's always, the last few years, he's on the people's radars. I mean, the case I have for him is similar to the case I would have for Waller, is that there's just not much going on in Denver. Like, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy are guys. They're guys. But, like Noah Fant is a big part of that offense. He also needs to stay healthy. And what we talked about earlier with Melvin Gordon, like their run game is not great. So I think, if he stays healthy, he's going to get the volume. He has the potential to be something, a top 5, tight end.
Who's throwing the ball there in Denver right now, week 1? What do you think?
Nobody. Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Is that what you want?
No, but not at all. But, I mean, Drew Lock, I'd rather have Drew Lock throwing a 10-yard pass to Noah Fant than I would have Drew Lock throwing a 30-yard pass to Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton or something like that.
Yeah, and I feel a lot of these tight end players, you almost sometimes become better because the rest of your team sucks, If your quarterback can't complete a deep throw, he's going to dump it off to either a running back or a tight end, like you said, 10 yards down the field. So I think that's this little situation with Noah Fant.
Yeah,
you're going to have a lot of stuff to where you need a quick little check down pass. That's a tight end reception.
But also, I will also say, like, an argument. I will give a little argument against him as well. Is that, like, he's been on this list for a few years now, like, kind of like Noah Fant's the guy to look out for, to watch, and like. He's shown, potential, and I hope he can stay healthy and that Drew Lock isn't an absolute garbage can and that he can. But I think they got Teddy Checkdown as well as their backup, and Teddy Checkdown checks down.
Yeah, so
if Teddy Checkdown go check down, he's gonna check down to Noah.
Oh yeah. All right, so there's a little boom pick for you, Noah Fant with the Broncos. Frosty, who you thinking about?
I'm looking at Kyle Pitts, rookie for Atlanta.
Oh, I'm liking that.
With Julio gone, he's going to move into that number 2 target. At the number 2 target, and I think he's going to do big things.
Yeah, I'm real big.
Ryan's smart. He's going to be able to just,
Yeah, I'm big on Kyle Pitts, too. That was actually my pick.
Yeah, piggybacking on that.
Yep. Yeah, you got Julio gone now. We all know the Atlanta Falcons love to throw the ball, and the last few seasons they're always playing from behind. When you play from behind and when you lose in fantasy football, you have to throw the ball. So who benefits from that? Receivers, tight ends, you got to throw it down the field. So Kyle Pitts is an absolute beast of a man.
I mean, I think he ran like a 4.40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast. He's a big boy and he's fast.
Yeah, 6'6", 240.
The Atlanta did change I think their head coach is now the old Titans offensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. And they liked to run the ball down there. I mean, I know they had Derrick Henry, but they did like to run the ball. So I would be wary of, just the offense changing. I think it might be different than the Falcons of old. Like the Falcons of old, slanging and banging it. But, I don't know.
Austin Hooper had a big season a few seasons ago, right? Out of the tight end position for the Falcons. So,
and it wouldn't scare me away from Kyle Pitts just because I think that, he's a beast.
Yeah.
So
well, exactly. Usually the players on your team that are the best, they're going to naturally try to get them involved most. So you don't have a lot of firepower in Atlanta right now. Kyle Pitts was their number 1 draft pick, so they're expecting big things from him. Frosty's expecting big things. I'm expecting big things. So yeah, that's our pick, Kyle Pitts. Landon, who are you thinking about?
I'm gonna look to the Motor City and go with the Tej, Mr. Hawkinson. The Tej. I like TJ Hawkinson. There's some reports that are coming out that saying Goff has been getting real chummy with the tight ends, basically because the receiving core is not great.
I don't even think they have wide receivers on their team.
Their starting 3 receivers are Tyrell Williams, Rashad Perriman, and the best name of all, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Right, that's their.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that's those are the receivers, and Hawkinson.
Detroit what?
But Hawkinson had 100 targets last year with Stafford there, and remember Marvin Jones Jr. was there. He caught a lot of balls. Kenny Galladay was there, and he got a lot of looks too. So Hawkinson, they lost both of those guys, and now they've got, like I said, the 3 dudes that we were just like, what?
Yeah.
So Hawkinson's gonna get some looks from Goff, and I think he's gonna. I think of the. So we all know that there's the Kittle and Kelsey and Waller, those 3, the elites.
Yeah, yep.
I think of the next batch, like the second tier. I think that Hawkinson has the best chance of closing that gap.
I was just going to say that. I think that Hawkinson is probably the next one after those. And I think that he has, the potential. Like, he had a big year last year. The potential for him, I think, is really big. And Detroit sucks.
They're not good. Yeah, and like I just said, Goff likes the tight end, so
I agree. Yeah, I think that's safe.
So those are our 5 boom picks. Right now we got 5 bust picks for you. These are tight ends that we do not think you should draft and are going to do nothing but hurt your team. Cam, who are you thinking about?
Man, there are a lot of choices here.
I mean,
Pretty much the whole field.
No, I'm with. It's like we said. I mean, it's like 4 or 5 dudes this year that you're like, okay, with 3 you're happy with, Right. 2, you're like, they could be good, and everybody else, it's like, who fucking knows, man?
Yeah, but these are also guys we're talking about that people are going to be drafting, and they're going to disappoint you because there's a lot of garbage that aren't going to produce. We're only giving you picks that people are going to potentially draft that we're thinking are to be a bust, so don't draft them, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about here with these next picks. So who did you have?
I'm going with TJ Hawkinson as my bust.
Oh, more friction. He was not feeling it.
Here's why, okay? Once, I just have to bring it up again. Don't take your fantasy advice from Landon. And 2, try to avoid Detroit Lions, okay? And, look, after those first 3 guys are gone, nobody really knows who's going to be the guy or who's not going to be the guy. TJ might be, probably not. But I just think he's getting a lot of hype, so I think his draft stock is going to rise up, and where he's going, I think, is just a little bit higher than some of these other guys, like Pitts maybe, that I think is going to be just as good. So stay off of the Detroit Lions hype. That's my
So 1 for TJ Hawkinson, 1 for not TJ Hawkinson. Jay Stevens, who you thinking, bro?
I'm going to go with Bobby G. That's Rob Gronkowski from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, Bobby G.
Old Bobby Giraldo. He's just kind of a bum, man. Like, it's the only reason he's in any sort of relevance is because, like Cam was saying earlier, I mean, there's just no tight ends, man. There's just none. And he, you know, when he was doing anything, he was getting like 1 reception for 7 yards and a touchdown, which is fine. But like he wasn't getting that consistently. I mean, how much longer can Bobby G party like an animal and continue to like, he's got like a robotic arm and shit, man. Like
Well, I think at this point though, there's just so many weapons there, you know? Like
I mean,
Antonio
that's
Brown, Mike Evans, Chris
well.
Godwin, those 3 guys, somebody's going to be open. You don't necessarily need to check that most of the time.
And you know, like, you know, I think you can just basically more or less with any of the tight ends after those 3, and I would put Hawkinson and Pitts, so let's go those 5. After that, it's like, dude, you could put all of them in just a straight up boom or bust category because it's just like you're not likely to get you're not likely to get any sort of consistency from these dudes anyways. You're not gonna be like, wow, I got like we thought we had that with Jonnu Smith last year and he had 3 games that were just absurd and then just got a bit hurt and then just blanked for the entire rest of the year.
Yeah, with tight ends, you definitely want to pick that's going to be consistent. A lot of these guys will give you 0 or 1 catches some weeks. If you can at least lock in a tight end that's going to give you 3 catches and maybe 5 looks a game, you're already ahead of the game.
And I mean, also remember, like, like half of your league is going to have tight ends that are questionable.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's just that.
Yep. All right, Frosty, who's your buster?
I'm going to go with Goddard. From, you know, we talked about him earlier. It's Philly.
Yep.
It's Philly. We know the problems they're having. Hurts is going to be a bust, so therefore,
let's just throw them all on the list.
Just, you know.
Well, there's 2 people in Philly. There's a Ertz and a Hurts, that are both going to impact
so you're gonna
impact
have to divide
this.
and conquer between the 2 of those, and then it's just not.
I agree,
happen.
and like people are, you know, still kind of on that. Like last year, they were like, we need, you know. You need to be drafting Dallas Goedert. The year before, draft Dallas Goedert. This year, draft Dallas Goedert. And it's like, I mean, even last year, Ertz sucked. He was not good last year. And Dallas Goedert was also not good last year.
Yeah.
So it's like there's 2 of them still. Like no matter what, Goddard's going to be sharing something with Ertz.
Yeah, this very rarely works at a high level consistently to where you have 2 tight ends that are consistently producing every week. You can have a system where you have 2 tight ends that are part of the offense, but to play them and start them, you're going to have better options out there with a team that's got 1 guy. That's their guy, like a Hunter Henry, something like that. Like, hey, you're not going to put up a lot, but at least you're the guy. The problem in Philly is you don't know if Ertz is going to go out there. You don't know if Goddard's going to go out there.
With 2 tight ends, and
you don't even know if they're going to get any action.
Tight ends in general don't get a ton of looks. So when you're dividing that between 2, it's just it's not the move.
Hunter Henry also trash, by the way.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even make our list. That's how trash he is.
I mean, I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
Cam mentioned him the other day in some sort of conversation, and I'm like,
I don't think he's going to be that bad. I mean, he's got Herbert there. I mean, he should do something.
He's not in.
He's
not
gone?
in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, I haven't kept up with him.
He's playing with your boy Cam Newton.
Yeah, he's in. But they do like.
There's a lot of those players that fall off my radar. I don't even know what
They
what's
do
happening.
like the tight ends in New England, though. So I mean, there's that. They got Jonnu Smith as well. Yeah. So I mean, but I don't think either of those dudes are going to have much fantasy relevance. I'd like to see something before I consider taking them.
Dallas Goedert was also my pick. We just talked about him, so we're sending it over to Landon for our last bust of the tight ends.
I'm going to have to go with Tunyon. It breaks my heart to go against the cheese. But dude had 11 touchdowns last year. Dude is not going to have 11 touchdowns this year.
Did he have like 2-3 touchdown games?
There were
Yeah, like his first game he had 3 touchdowns.
He's not gonna reproduce that. Aaron Rodgers wanted to trade for Randall Cobb for a reason. Like Aaron Rodgers trusts Randall Cobb. If he's got to check down, he's gonna check down to Randall Cobb and not Tunyon. So I don't really have a lot of faith in Tunyon this year.
The good side of Tunyon, though, I mean, I'm not really high on him either, but at least you have a solid quarterback there. You know, a lot of these other teams
a QB that can get him the ball,
you
right?
don't even have a chance because your quarterback sucks. At least with the Packers, you go, hey, you at least have a guy that's capable
Rodgers is not Jalen Hurts.
I think you could do worse. I think you could do worse than Tunyon. But I agree with you. I don't like him.
But he's a pick as a bust. He's people are drafting him. They're expecting things out of him, and that's why he's a bust because we think he's not going to do anything.
Right.
Absolutely.
So those are our picks for tight ends, boom or bust. We hope you enjoyed that. Let us know down in the comments who you would pick and anybody you're thinking for this season.
Yep.